Hello and welcome to Powur Enterprise, the overview that is providing the future of solar for any type of organization in either the solar industry or anyone who touches a home today. My name is Charles Thompson, and I'm going to give you a brief overview of what this program is all about so that you have the ability to discuss that with whoever referred you to the platform. So first, I'd like to describe that there are two types of enterprise licenses within the Powur Platform. And both of them can build a team if you desire to do that. Both can manage a team. Both can set roles for their support team, their lead gen, and I'll dive into these a little bit with you. Pros, that's the second tier of the license, can seat sellers and they can set their qualifications based upon whatever parameters they desire. Pros can design the seller's commission plans. That doesn't have to follow the Powur model that you have already heard about. Both can customize the lead offers to whoever they want to send them to. Both receive milestone payments. Milestone 1 is generally within a couple of days of site survey, and that's 40% not to exceed $2,000. And milestone 2 is at substantial completion once the lender has approved the project. That will be the balance of the commission. Powur will manage all of your 1099s, so you don't have to worry about doing the various commission sheets. You don't have to worry about any of that. And Powur will do all the 1099s, eliminating some of the admin work that you might be experiencing today. They provide all the proposals, contracts, and financing, the pipeline management tools that you need, and extensive training for any of your sellers who are in the platform as well. The value really is the COGS model, that cost of goods model. And I would encourage you to get back with whoever referred you here. And there's a more in-depth video on COGS, but let me just say it briefly here. COGS is transparency. COGS is truly what that cost is: the cost of the equipment, the cost of the labor, cost of the permitting, cost of anything that's associated with this particular account. Transparency. And there's only one form of compensation in most other programs, like a red line program. If you're familiar with that, I'll define the difference. If you're not familiar, then just know that the biggest difference is transparency. In a red line program, it tends to be a situation where there's a lot of extra margin that's being built in different places. You get a baseline cost like what we provide, except you just don't know how much margin's already built in down below. And they tend to increase the dealer fee, so that costs you either more or it costs the homeowner more. They tend to add margin to equipment. They don't give you as many panel options. They do everything they can to show a low red line, but then they get you in all these other little areas. In addition, there's only one form of compensation in a red line model, whereas with Powur, as you've probably already learned, there's 4 types of compensation. We'll talk more about that briefly. You have custom enterprise software. This is completely scalable for your business. You can add people, you can add everything, just leveraging our platform. All of the proposals are provided for you, the designs, the contracts. Simply click, click, click. You don't have to worry about calling anybody, texting anybody, emailing anybody for any of the details. Automated team commission payments, so you don't have to have somebody designated to do those commission payments. You set those thresholds and Powur takes care of it. Powur gives you access to the best financing selections in the industries, whether it's loan, lease, or PPA. And of course, we do cash deals as well. Best solutions in the market with the lowest dealer fees that I've seen in this industry in 11 years that I've been in. The best equipment selection and prices, and Powur is not facing what many small solar companies are facing today with supply chain issues. So Powur has a plethora of inventory, either in warehouse or resecured for us, that's delivered upon our need to the locations. We have tremendous peace of mind that we have inventory, and a lot of companies aren't seeing that today. Best storage selections and prices available in the industry, and revenue share, which is something that you'll see more in the depth of the rev share plan. And what that typically means is passive income, and then equity in the Powur platform. I don't know how many companies you can go to and do what they ask you to do, which is sell. And Powur takes over everything from there, from the project management all the way through glass on the roof. And they'll also give you equity in the company. Our strategy is this: we're officially in beta. So when you get in, just know that you're going to experience ongoing improvements to this platform. If you're interested in pursuing as an enterprise licensee, it's available to anyone. There's no application required. You've been referred, so you're eligible to enroll. If you're looking at the Enterprise Pro, that is by application only, and we'll be onboarding limiting partners for the next 90 to 120 days. We're going to gather the feedback, and then we're going to enhance the platform. We're going to refine it and really perfect the greatest enterprise sales and fulfillment platform in this industry. Our target launch date for completion, we evolve all the time, but for this to be truly the best platform out there will be by launch in mid-2022. With that being said, let's take a quick look at the enterprise license program. And it starts with you, the owner. You have access to all the leads that are put into the platform, the projects, the money, the margins, and the people. Then you have a support team. This can be someone who you designate to assign leads to other, to access projects, to respond to our ticketing system, which is a really great communications platform within Powur, and they can add leads to the organization. And then the lead generator is someone who actually just brings in new leads. They're similar to something we call an ambassador program, and you'll hear about that. You'll have the ability to customize your ambassador program as well. An ambassador program gets paid one time after the completed install. Lead generators are paid differently. I'll share that with you in a moment. And then you can customize what you want to offer those lead generators. An incredible tool as a business manager. So simple to do. You just click on Enterprise Team. You click on Add a new team member. You define which role that you want them to be. Select that role and click Send. Once that happens, the new staff member is going to receive an email to finish their registration. They create their own password, they confirm, and they sign up. And now you have a new team member in your organization. It's really that simple. The cost of seating that staff member is $25 per staff role. There's 3 roles. There's the manager, there's the support, and there's the lead generator. Each role is $25 per seat as part of our licensing. And how does a lead generator get paid? This is what's really awesome. If you're building a business, maybe you have somebody out there door to door or an inbound call center, you have the ability to pay them quickly. They get paid at milestone 1, which is generally going to be a couple of days after the site survey has been completed. And that's going to give them 40% of the commission that's due. The balance is paid out at M2. So our general cap is $2,000 for milestone 1. And you determine how much of that you keep and how much you want to pay your lead generation. And you'll find more about that as you start to play with the series within the model. Simply, once you're engaged in the platform, set up your name, choose your organization name, and save. So we now know who to reference when we're having communication. You can set up your default terms, how much you actually want to set to pay a closer. And we'll talk about the Enterprise Pro model soon. But here's the great benefit as an org. You're going to be able to access, let's say you're generating leads in other cities that you don't have the ability to sell, or you don't want to sell yourself. You can tag a tier 3 seller on our platform, and you can determine what type of margin you want to give them. And I'll give you an example in a moment. And with this enterprise, you're going to be able to sell your leads. You'll be able to offer them. You select the lead, you choose the closer, you set the percentage where you want it to be, you add in whatever margin, so you're going to protect your income, and then you make offers. And from that point, they can either decline, counter, or accept. And it's really that simple. It's one of the greatest ways to leverage hundreds and hundreds of expert sellers that we have on our platform. When it's not working out, let's say you've been a couple leads to a seller and you're just not happy with the progress, you're able to just remove that lead, and you're able to do that up until the time the contract is signed. Once the contract's signed, obviously it's locked in. And what's the offer based on? So we're talking about all these revenue splits. So we have the rev share plan. We get 70%. We sellers, whether we're a current seller in Powur, whether we're an enterprise or an enterprise pro, we get 70%. So all of the splits that we're referring to are coming from that 70%. Powur keeps 30%. They take some of that back and they put it in a rev share pool that you get the ability to tap into. We'll talk more about that in separate conversations. And Powur really operates on a 15% margin. So this is really a game changer. So here's that rev share example. Let's say that the net revenue on a project was $10,000, just for easy math. Your organization receives 70% of that. That's $7,000. Let's say you wanted to pay the lead gen 25% of your revenue, or less or more. You can do that. In this case, $1,750 to the lead generator. You want to pay the seller, let's say 40%. In our standard platform, if you've ever used it, it's a 50-50 split. But here, as an enterprise, you have the ability to throttle that lower or up to the 50%. So in this case, $2,800 to the closer. So your organization would get the balance. That's 7,000 minus 1,750 minus 2,800 is $2,450. Simple, scalable, duplicatable throughout the entire platform. How you make the offers, you click on projects, qualify the project, select proposals, click the lead, and now you're ready to make an offer. You find which seller that you want to, and you can see their stats. You can see everything you know that you need to know rather about whether that's someone you want to choose. It can be geographically based, et cetera. And then once you select the seller, you set the terms. You offer either the default term or you can custom percentage that. Once you've done your change or left it at default, just click submit, and then you can review the offer, make sure everything's correct, confirm it, and send it off. And that's where the acceptance, the decline, or a counteroffer can occur. When you submit leads, they're going to show in your back office as a lead. Once it's been going to qualified, you're going to see it move over to the next tab where you can actually begin to transfer that lead to a closer that we were just talking about. So you got different stages of your leads and projects. In the proposal phase, you could have yourself listed, but you can now transfer that to a closer if you decide you don't want to sell it, or you can close it yourself, whatever is best for your organization. In the contract phase, then you're going to see all the projects all the way through until it's get installed. And then once you go through the history of installs, all of your projects will be listed and sortable. And then any projects that were put on hold, paused, or canceled will show in the final tab. And a lot of sort features and capabilities that are already there, but it can continue to improve as we move and improve this process. When a seller accepts a lead, then you do need to stay in contact. We're working on a project ticketing system that you can communicate with them through the ticketing, which allows for trackability. Until that is released, then you can simply use text, phone call, email. You'll have all their contact information when you assign them to your projects. So the enterprise model, again, is available today. And it is $175 per month per license, where it allows you to build your team, make lead offers, and customize payments. And then any additional users, your admin, your support team, your lead generators, are $25 per license. Now let's take a quick look at the joining process. If you're already enrolled, you can go. So if you're already a member, you can go in and enroll. If not, then what you want to do is get the link directly from the person who referred you, and you'll be able to go through the registration process. All right, briefly, the Enterprise Pro version of what we do. Again, it starts with you, the owner, and then you get the ability to have a manager, kind of your right-hand leader. They can set the offer defaults, they can view the money, they can't make any changes, they can't move your money around. They can add new team members, assign leads, access projects, respond to tickets, add leads to the organization. So a lot of the heavy lifting is done by your manager, and you can also have a support person, assigning leads, accessing projects, responding to tickets, adding leads to the organization, and then your lead generator. So the differences here are you have the ability to also seat sellers. If you desire to have sellers who you can then set whatever that commission structure should be, then this would be a better option for you if you want sellers in your organization. Because with your sellers, you can view all the details of the projects, you can access the sales information, you can see that the payments are taken care of through Powur on their 1099, you can set your lead offers automatically to be accepted. You can change that, of course. You can earn revenue share bonuses from their sales. Look at the rev share plan with your referrer and they'll walk you through that. You can set their base compensation rate, and you can change their seller requirements for mentor sales. Within Powur, we generally have a requirement of people to hit a certain number of contracts before they can sell on their own. You have more flexibility in the platform as a pro to use your own parameters because you're ultimately the licensee that is responsible. Simple to do, click on projects, the same process that you saw me go through in the enterprise model. The one difference is on step 3, you would choose a either seated seller if you had a seated seller, or someone in the platform, the hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people that you have access to. Select your seller, set the terms, review, confirm, and send. So it's a very similar process with this exception that you can add sellers. And coming soon is some co-branding on the proposals for pros only. And that's on the proposals and on the contracts. We're developing API integration into the platform, preferred installer assignments. So let's say you're a solar company and you want to get every project you sell, you want to be the installer. We have the ability to do that. Enhanced reporting, enhanced CRM capabilities, customized training that you can then provide for anyone who comes into your organization at any capacity. A lot of incredible tools to help you scale your business. Pricing is slightly different, a lot more features, bells and whistles. You get to build your team, customize your plans, and change the mentor requirements in this role. And it's $350 per month. And then each of the seated users are $25 for support, $25 for lead gen or manager, and $50 for your sellers. So with that being said, I hope you found this information informative. Get back to whoever referred you here to the Powur platform, get your final questions answered, jump on this incredible train and help us make this the best enterprise model in the entire industry. Thank you for listening, and the best is definitely ahead.